It's not a phase, Mom. I'm a Dark type trainer. God, you just don't get me. That's right. Welcome back. We are here to figure out how Girlypop each and every Dark type Pokemon in the Pokemon universe is. I'm talking about Mega Evolutions, Pokemon that change to a Dark type, every single Dark type Pokemon that we can find. And let me tell you real quick, I am super excited for the Dark type. I feel like the Dark type is a typing that is in its own lane, but doesn't get talked about enough. I feel like there's something cosmic about the Dark type because we have the presence of trainers like Karen, and then trainers like Bryson have alter egos that are Dark types. The way that some Pokemon become Dark types as they evolve, there's a sauce to it that I'm excited to get into. So let's go ahead and get started by talking about the tiers. The first tier is Mother. These are Pokemon that are doing 120% of Girlypopology. They're definitely Girlypop, but they're giving you a little bit more. They're pushing the envelope. They're showing you how to master the craft. The next tier is Girlypop. Now, Girlypop is self-explanatory. They're Girlypop. Moving on, third tier is Okay. These Pokemon can definitely be Girlypop. They have all the makings of Girlypop, but they tend to be either versatile accessories to a Girlypop team. Sometimes they could even go the other direction, and that's why they kind of sit in the middle. The second to last tier is looks around. This is where it's starting to get a little bit suspicious. Like, I don't want to say get out of my face, but we're getting close. And the last tier is Skip. Moving on. No commentary. No. God, you just don't get it. No. So let's get started with Alolan Rattata. This line I think is really fun. I actually love the colors. I love when people are able to mix in browns and blacks. I think that it's just so pretty when it's done right, but it has to be the right tone. And like that's what I'm saying. Like the Dark type is like, there's a tone to it that is so fascinating to me, and you can see it in just the color scheme, because if you did like a warm brown with this tone of black, it would not work. But I'm going off on colors. That's not what we're here to analyze. Alolan Rattata is, I'm gonna say it's okay. I think it could be a good accessory. Alolan Raticate looks around. Alolan Meowth. This Pokemon's impact on my life. Alolan Meowth is Mother, especially for the Dark type. And let's just stop here right now. Those of you who've been here before know I'm going to mention this, but those of you who are new, when I'm analyzing the Dark type, I'm trying to ask, what can the Dark type give? What about the Dark type is unique as a Girlypop? And if we're building a Dark type team as a Girlypop trainer, what Pokemon can provide what things? And in the Dark type category, I think that Alolan Meowth shows what Girlypop Dark type can be. Alolan
Potion.
A lot of people don't give Alolan
Potion.
credit. I think because its design is not very like modern and chic. But if you look at the way classic Pokemon is designed, I genuinely believe that the way that they designed this Pokemon was supposed to reference the roots of Pokemon's concept designs, because it is a little bit goofy. It's a little bit more rounded. It reminds me even sometimes of like classic Dragon Ball. And because of that, I do think that there is real artistic intention behind this. And I do think that they wanted to like sort of play on it, be a little bit sarcastic, play with expectations, especially for Persian. And I think that there's a joke there that might have like missed.
I'm interjecting again because I'm not done talking about this. One thing that bugs me to no end after making Pokemon content for so long is like, some people want me to extrapolate and articulate every single tiny little artistic nuance that's not even confirmed about a Pokemon, but when it comes to Alolan Persian, people just like act as if the wiki is law. Like they're like, oh, it's just based on the British short hair, that's it. It's like, okay, so your obsession with Serena and Gardevoir must have like a 15-minute discussion, but y'all don't want to talk about this really iconic and interesting line because suddenly we don't have any room for any like artistic discussions around Alolan Persian just because y'all don't like it has a round face. That's all I gotta say. I know that I'm coming off weird, but I've been doing these types of videos for like 2 years, and some Pokemon just get the short end of the stick, and people don't want to admit it.
I'm going to say that Alolan Persian is okay. Alolan Grimer, I don't really feel like it does anything. It kind of changes the color. I get that there's a different story to be had about it, but I don't really see much to say. I'm going to say that that's looks around. However, Alolan Muck, I think that's girly pop, especially for the dark type. We like Corsola because Corsola gives us an environmentalist statement. Not only is it camp to put an environmentalist statement into a kid's game, it adds a little bit of vibrancy, it adds something new, it adds some nuance, and I think that that's what Alolan Muck is doing as well. It's also giving you a little bit of rainbow. I don't know what pride flag she is giving right now, but it's definitely giving some type of flag, right? You get what I'm saying? Like, now Mega Gyarados, is that Mega Gyarados? I'm not really into it. It's very fishy, but not in like the girly pop kind of way. But gosh, I really love the dark typing. Like really, generally, dark typings all have really amazing designs. Even Gyarados, which is a Pokemon that I normally kind of sleep on. For girly pop, I have to say it's skip. I just really can't see it really meshing into a girly pop. Now, Galarian Moltres is a different story. When we're in the dark typing, we have to nod to the emo, to the goth girls, to the alt chicks. Like, dark typing is like a Venn diagram, and I love Venn diagrams. The two circles and where the two things sort of meet in the middle. I just love Venn diagrams. The dark typing has two things. It's like the mall chick. It's giving like Karen, you know? And then you also have like the goth chick. And then in the middle, you have the dark typing. That's the dark typing, right? I have to say, that's like rocker chick, like, you know, like girly pop. Yeah. And now that we've established this, we can move on. Umbreon is kind of giving that like chic girl. She's a little bit dark. She does like a smoky eye. It's very like Julia Fox, you know? Umbreon for the dark typing, I mean, leave it to an evolution to do it. Mother, sorry, it's Mother. Murkrow is a little bit witchy. We do have a little bit of witchiness here and there in the dark typing. Ooh, that's a little spooky when I think about it. I like the spookiness of it all. I don't want to say it's okay. Like, it's giving girly pop, right? Murkrow's girly pop. I think Honchkrow is okay. Honchkrow's okay. Hisuian Qwilfish into Overqwil is a concerning development in the Pokemon franchise because I love to see a Pokemon that is kind of relegated to no-name territory, that's relegated to the irrelevant territory, to get a remix, to get a regional, to get evolutions, to get love. Because that's the most exciting thing about Pokemon is the sense of discovery. And I do think that sometimes Pokemon gets a little top-heavy. We sometimes, as fans and as the developers of the game and franchise, focus too much on a select group in the Pokédex. And when Hisuian Qwilfish was shown to be getting love and to be getting a regional, that was so exciting. I think Hisuian Qwilfish into Overqwil, though, as a girly pop trainer, I was a little bit disappointed. I'm happy to see them exploring Pokemon that we don't necessarily think about all the time. But it's concerning for us girly popologists to see that potential be turned and twisted in the way that it was. So let's say, I'm gonna say it's a skip. It's a skip for me. It's a skip. I just don't really ever see. Overqwil has a silhouette and a moment that I'll say is looks around. I think maybe there's some dark type girly pops out there that want to play with that aesthetic, but we have to agree that it's not even okay, right? Now, Jojo Siwa, I mean, Sneasel. Sneasel is girly pop, and as a dark type, Weavile's mother. Weavile is showing that chicness. Okay, so let's stop because I'm starting to notice that I'm touching more and more on what the dark type can give. It's giving that chicness that I've mentioned before. It's giving, I know this sounds crazy. It gives Art Deco sometimes. It feels queenly, it feels regal. So that's why she gets mother. As a dark type, Houndour is okay. And I just want to say Houndoom, with the mothers already, Karen's really carrying her. It's still just girly pop. However, Mega Houndoom, I think stays in girly pop because we're in the dark type category. I do know that like Houndour and Houndoom in the fire type, a lot of people didn't like how I was placing it, but I just think that Houndoom and Houndour resonate more. with the dark type. Did you hear that rhyme in there too? I didn't do that on purpose. It's just like I'm like an artist and sometimes like poetry comes out. But like I think Houndour resonates more with the dark typing. I think you see its color. I think you see how vivid of a personality and presentation this Pokemon has when it's in the dark type lane. Now I don't think that Tyranitar is represented well as a dark type. I want to say as a dark type, it's not giving dark type to me. It's not giving dark type Girlypop team. If I was making a Girlypop team, I wouldn't even be thinking of Tyranitar. I've given her flowers already. It's a skip. And Mega is a skip too. Poochyena's Girlypop. I think Poochyena is giving the best example of what like the dark type puppy can be. I would love to see more Poochyenas, honestly. That's a really cute Pokemon. Mightyena, I'm churning it around in my head. I'm trying to get in touch with the dark type trainers who are watching, because I know that there's people who just specifically have been waiting for this. I'm trying to like ask the collective unconscious, do you like Mightyena the way that I like Mightyena? I think you do. I think you do. Ah, gosh, this feels hard. I'm gonna say Mightyena. Ooh, I'm scared. Mightyena's Girlypop. She feels Girlypop to me. Like I can see. She feels Girlypop. I'm like scared to say it, but she feels Girlypop. Galarian Zigzagoon as a dark type, that's a rocker chick, you know? That's mother. To me, Galarian Linoone is a looks around, and Obstagoon is giving more manly pop than anything, but it's such a statement Pokemon. Like it's such a statement Pokemon that it can definitely be an accessory. So I'll say it's okay. And isn't that just so beautiful? Like this many videos in, there's so many Pokemon that do give manly pop but can complement the girly pop. And I just love the yin and yang of that. Like you have to have the balance between the girly pop and the manly pop. And they complement each other sometimes. They complement each other. Love that, love that. Nuzleaf, kind of like Tyranitar, is not giving dark type to me. I kind of want to skip it. I'm skipping it. I just really can't even see it complementing much. And Shiftry does give enough of the dark type. Okay, another pause, another pause. So if you're gonna get skipped in the dark type, you're either giving an aesthetic that just really doesn't work, or you're not giving dark type at all. Because of that, I feel as though Qwilfish got a little bit too harsh of a criticism. I'm gonna say that Qwilfish's looks around because it is giving dark type. It is giving dark type, but its aesthetic isn't so egregious. Actually, no, because all of the ones in Skip aren't giving dark type. Like they have the category, but they're not giving the category, so that's a skip. And that's all to say that Nuzleaf is not giving the category, but Shiftry is. But it's a looks around for me. Because of Shiftry kind of helping us to create a delineation between what looks around and skip is and a definition for what looks around and skip is, I have to now say retroactively that Galarian Linoone is also okay. It can be a complement to the dark type joint slay that we're trying to create in the upper categories. Ooh, I told you guys that dark type was going to be fun to do. I love a moment like this. An epiphany moment. Like, that's fun. Okay. Sableye. I think that a lot of people don't want Sableye to serve the way that she does, but you can't help it. She's serving. She's crystallized and ready for the runway. So I want to say Sableye is Girlypop and Mega Sableye is mother. Maybe I'm a little bit too enthusiastic about the dark type. I don't know. Please, if you guys feel as though you have a thesis to give on other typings that you're enthusiastic about, I encourage you. Please join in on the conversation, but dark typing is one of my favorite typings, okay? So let me explain the serve of Mega Sableye, because I think that some of the girls who don't do dark typing the way that the dark type girlies do dark typing don't get it, but you'll get it if I explain it. Mega Sableye is giving that chicness, and I feel as though chicness requires a sense of attenuation. Sableye has always been quiet in its persona and mysterious in its persona. To be able to be like this gem hunting, like gem obsessed Pokemon, and its Mega is just a more grand gem that it hides behind. Oh, it's like it's giving performance almost. And that's why it's mother. It stays so tightly in its lane. It's still Sableye, but it gives you something a little bit more, you know, just elevate it a little bit. Elevate it a little bit. Carvhana does give dark type. It's kind of like Gyarados though. So skip. Sharpedo also skip. Mega Sharpedo also skip. Maybe the dark type doesn't have compatibility with water typing. Somebody decided to start chopping down a tree, I think, outside of my window. So if you guys hear any buzz saw going on, it's just my neighbors being really creative. Cacturne is giving dark type, Cacturne is giving dark serve. What I'm really loving about the dark type so far is that it's easier to be more androgynous in Girlypop with the dark type. And this is something that I want to hammer home because I'm getting a lot of people who are like, I'm not really Girlypop, but like I get what you're saying and I really like this conversation. You've got some Girlypop in you. Girlypop, yes, it has the word girly in it, but I feel like as somebody who's like constantly talking about this all the time, it feels so exclusionary to say that it can only be like feminine. I think what it is, it's a celebration of serving. Like that's what I always say is like, it's the serve. Like manly pop is a masculine serve. Girlypop does give something a little bit more feminine, a little bit more soft. But in the dark typing, the dark type itself is supposed to be transgressive. It's supposed to be alternative. It's supposed to like sort of like break the boundaries because it's like the rocker chicks. It's the emo chicks. It's the, you know, it's the girls who are doing the fashion the way that it's the fashion chicks. So with all that being said, I think that Cacturne is giving like fashion. It's giving fashion with the hat, with the pose. Like it's like, let's just see what it looks like in Girlypop. No, it's okay. It's okay. It's kind of like giving manly pop in the sense of like Alcid in Final Fantasy 12. It's giving manly pop like a dandy almost. It's not the manly pop in the way that Obstagoon is. That is so crazy. Let's go back to the Venn diagram. Obstagoon is the hot topic boy. Cacturne is the fashion boy. When I say fashion, I'm not talking about like Dior or anything. I'm just like saying like, I don't know, maybe there's just some store where he goes. I'm not really good with malls, but you get what I'm saying. Crawdaunt, another fishy dark type that I'm just not into. I'm gonna say that Crawdaunt looks around, and we might come back to that later. Absol. Y'all know it's about to happen, right? 1, 2, 3. Mother. Mega Absol. Oh, the way that she took it even further. 1, 2, 3. Mother. Shout out to Absol because Absol is giving like emo girl. Absol's kind of giving both of the Venn diagram. She's giving emo, what with like the color scheme and the sort of like, she's like the moon. It's giving very much like 2000s MySpace emo scene, but she's also giving like Bob and she's giving fashion. She's giving chic. It's that Venn diagram. And what I love about Mega Absol is that it feels like such a reference to the aesthetics of this like emo era that I keep like sort of harking back to. It's so like Evanescence. It's so Death Note. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm seeing in Mega Absol. And I just feel like, I don't know if they purposely did that, but there's something cosmic about the fact that when you elevate Absol into its mega form, it naturally just becomes Evanescence. It becomes Death Note. Like that's so cosmic to me.
I guess what I'm trying to say here is that Absol was a Pokemon that debuted in 2003, where this emo aesthetic was really permeating. And when I say emo, it's more just like a dark, like sort of chic, dark aesthetic. You see it a lot in the media around like the 2003 era. Death Note came out in 2003 and ended in 2006 and was hugely popular in nerd culture. My Immortal by Evanescence came out during that time. The emo era was starting to become a thing and it really burgeoned in the advent of MySpace with the high contrast between the lights and the darks, the referencing of like a fallen angel, things like that. Like, this was stuff that was really popular at the time, and those of you who were there at the time know exactly what I'm talking about. It's like edginess was in, but it was also soft, and it was in everything. Because you really have to think, for the time that Absol came out, that was par for the course. Having a Pokemon in the National Pokédex that represents those aesthetics, it's representing the times. But having Mega Absol come out, what, more than 10 years later, that's saying to the audience, hey, we were meaning to nod to this very specific era of aesthetics. And I think with all of that in mind, that makes Absol one of the most unique Pokemon in the Pokédex because it's such a moment in time, and the way that the Mega feels as though it's affirming that feeling that Absol's supposed to represent all of that, that's so like punk rock.
Now, Stunky has a lot of personality, and it's cute because it's purple. But I have to say, like, we've already established a pretty nuanced understanding of what Girlypop can be in the dark typing. Stunky is going to be okay. Skuntank. I started playing Pokemon Mystery Dungeon because after the normal typing, people told me that I need to start playing Pokemon Mystery Dungeon. So I've been researching, and because of that, I have to say that Skuntank is like looks around.
If the Chief were around, we'd snap you like a twig. Speaking of Chief, I can smell him coming. Smell. Something stinks. Oh my.
Spiritomb. Yeah, Spiritomb stands alone in a lot of ways. Spiritomb does something unique. It really does do something unique. But I can't really place if it's Girlypop. If I were to anchor a Girlypop dark type team and have Spiritomb be the ace, would that feel fitting? I feel like that would work more as a ghost type. It's not giving dark type in that sense. But it's not flopping either in the way that like looks around is. I'm gonna say that Spiritomb is Girlypop. I just feel weird putting it in okay. It doesn't feel like it should be in okay, but I don't think that it's mothering the dark type. Drapion, I don't like Drapion. I think that I get sensory overload from Drapion. Its textures, its shapes, I just don't like it. I just don't like Drapion, right? But no, it's not. No, it's looks around. I was trying to be objective, but it's looks around. A lot of people really like Darkrai because like her cinched waist and stuff. I guess I get it. She is giving like a silhouette. She's very much like Violet Chachki'd. I don't want to say she's Girlypop. She's okay for me. She's okay. Ooh, Hisuian Samurott. Skip. I am not into that at all whatsoever. Purrloin is Girlypop. Liepard? Is it Liepard or Liepard? I like saying Liepard. It sounds a little bit better. Liepard. That's mother. I'm sorry. Dark type has a lot of serving, and it's really gorgeous to see. I love it. Sandile looks around. I think Krokorok is one of my favorite Pokemon of all time. I think that its look is amazing. I won't consider the shiny, but I do think the shiny is really cool. As a second evolution, it really is one of those second evolutions that stand alone. A lot of second evolutions just feel intermediary. I even wonder if sometimes second evolutions are like last minute filler Pokemon to just like make the Pokédex a little bit bigger, because many times a second evolution just doesn't even feel like it's telling a story. When Sandile evolves into Krokorok, you're seeing Sandile's personality start to show. You're seeing that dark typing, that, you know, a little bit edgier, a little bit alternative personality start to show. I really love Krokorok. I'm going to say that Krokorok is Girlypop. For the dark typing, maybe even for the ground typing, but we're not going to get there yet. Crocodile, I think Crocodile's a skip, though. Crocodile goes into a direction I don't really like. Scraggy and Scrafty are an easy okay for me. I think that they're cute. Immediately, Scrafty can complement a Krokorok team. Oh my goodness, just pause real quick. Krokorok as the ace, Purrloin, Scrafty, Houndour, let's get two more. Umbreon, and Alolan Meowth. You see that vision? Oh my god, that's so cool to me. I love that. Zorua, I think that Zorua is Girlypop. Zorua shows that you can be really cute in the dark typing. Like, we do have some cute. Like, Poochyena is really cute. Purrloin is like fierce and cute. Murkrow is spooky and cute. Zorua is just like cute. It's a cute little dark type girly, and I like that. I have to say for Zoroark though, I want to put that in okay. I think that's a fabulous Pokemon, and I know a lot of people really love Zoroark. No. It's Girlypop. I was like, my train of thought was going, and I was like, what am I trying to justify here? No, it's Girlypop. A lot of people like it. It's giving like a high femme energy that you have to acknowledge. And I think about the conversations I've had about Zoroark, because I don't necessarily go out of my way for Zoroark myself, but those that have, yeah. I don't know. Pawniard feels like a means to an end. Like, you get Pawniard so you can get Bisharp, right? Pawniard for me is a skip. I can never really see myself running a team where I need Pawniard's presence. However, Bisharp eats. Bisharp really does eat. Ooh, I like Bisharp. I'm gonna say that Bisharp's okay. Bisharp's okay. Vullaby and Mandibuzz, I was kind of anticipating having to talk about this. A lot of people like them as Pokemon, right? I don't really like them per se, but when I'm really trying to be objective and I'm trying to like look at what I can compliment them for, like what flowers I can give in a girly pop setting, the Mandibuzz and Vullaby duo, they're very unique. Vullaby, I want to say, is girly pop. It's really cute. Mandibuzz, for me, is okay. It's okay for me. The Dino line is really gorgeous, and I do think it's quite representative of the dark type. I'll go ahead and say real quick, Iron Jugulis. Actually, Iron Jugulis is a really fascinating dark robot aesthetic. Oh, wow. Okay, so Iron Jugulis, I'm gonna say is okay. I think Dino is girly pop. Zweilous is still retaining that cuteness from Dino. I'm gonna say that's girly pop. Hydreigon's a really cool Pokemon, and I don't really like... A lot of people just like dragon Pokemon because they're dragon type. I think that Hydreigon kind of has a very justified reason as to why it's a cool dragon. I don't feel like it's girly pop though. It can really add a lot to the image of a dark type team, so I'll say that it's okay. Greninja looks around for me, as well as yeah, cool Pokemon, but Greninja kind of veers into that Charizard territory, and I just don't want to dwell on that anymore. Pangoro is kind of one of those forgettable Pokemon. I'm not resonating. I'm really not resonating with Pangoro. It's a skip for me. It really is. I think that Inkay and Malamar are girly pop, and I do like really want to give credit for just how gorgeous of a Pokemon it is. Not only is it sort of finally breaking the mold of what these fishy dark types are flopping at doing.
Look, I gotta interject again. The dark typing is just really fascinating, and I get really excited when I notice patterns, and there's so many intricate, specific patterns that I've never noticed before about the dark typing. I was mentioning how Inkay and Malamar are like breaking the mold, breaking the cycle of the fishy dark types, but Inkay and Malamar are technically a psychic dark type. All of the other water dark types aren't giving. And what does that mean? Because the water type is considered one of the most typically girly pop typings, but when it has dark crossover, something else happens. I think that's just something to think about,
Yveltal is a skip for me. I'm not really into that Pokemon at all. Unbound Hoopa is a skip. It's just a skip. Incineroar. Now, Incineroar, I'm immediately trying to like compare it to the other ones that are kind of giving that same like sort of manly pop crossover flavor. Obstagoon, Cacturne, Scrafty, Bisharp. I think that Incineroar is a little bit weaker in the dark typing, and for that I'm going to say it's looks around. Guzzlord is a skip, very quick skip for me. Nickit and Thievul show how you can give... See, Nickit and Thievul are actually what I was trying to express through Cacturne. Yeah, Nickit, I'm gonna say is okay because Thievul really outshines. And in all honesty, Thievul is like one of the most unique and cool Pokemon, and it just like kind of only exists in this dark type space, right? Um, I would love to see it get some more representation later on.
I'm actually gonna flip that. Looking at the 3D models, and now a couple days later after recording this, I have to say that it's the other way around. This is gonna be such a pain to edit. Slay! Flip that. That. Y'all know that song, Stanley?
Impidimp, Morgrem, and Grimmsnarl are three of my most favorite Pokemon of all time, like hands down. I actually like this line more than I like the Hatterene line. I really love this like dark forest hair witchy moment. I love to see it be in the fairy typing and also in the dark typing because I do think that it shows both of those typings equally, and I think that it's so interesting. Like there's so much creative energy put into these three. Impidimp is girly pop. Morgrem is okay. And as much as I adore Grimmsnarl, like I love Grimmsnarl, it is also okay for me. Now, Gigantamax Grimmsnarl, also a lovely silhouette, but in all honesty, I'm just like so sick of the Gigantamax. Can we just put that in the past? Like, you either give us Mega Evolutions or you don't. Gigantamax just feels like a really, really like shallow attempt to give us a gimmick form. Now that we're in Generation 9, I'm just sad that like we'll never see it again. I just want to ignore it. Skip. Morpeko is really fun. Morpeko is giving something fun for the Pika clones as well. It's performative. You're getting variation, but it also feels like the dark type. I'll say that these are girly pop. These are definitely girly pop. Urshifu, kind of feeling like Pangoro. Skip on its Gigantamax as well. Skip on the Gigantamax. Zarude, skip. Yeah, skip on Zarude. Skip on that. Meowscarada as a dark type. I just don't think that she's giving mother. I don't think she's giving mother, but she definitely is girly pop. Low kicks. A lot of people were like, kind of like not in agreement with my representation of low kicks in the bug type, but I just don't think that it's giving girly pop. It's a cool Pokemon, but it's not giving girly pop to me. I'll say it looks around on that. I genuinely think that Mastiff is not a good looking Pokemon in its design. I get what it's going for, but I don't like its design. It's a skip for me because its design is kind of ugly to me. I do think that Mastiff is a really fun take on the dog Pokemon, but we already have like Poochyena and like Mightyena and stuff like that. I do like it. It's a cool Pokemon, but it's a looks around for me. Bombardier is definitely girly pop. I mean, she's got the eyeliner and everything. Kingambit, another really unique take on what a Pokemon can become. And it's like, leave it to the dark type to remix Pokemon. Leave it to the dark type to explore the boundaries of what Pokemon can be. Kingambit is a cool Pokemon, for sure. It's not giving girly pop though. It really is not. And I don't really see it even being in consideration as an accessory to a girly pop team. So that's skip for me. A Brute Bonnet, as much as I don't like it, I didn't like it in the grass typing. I think it was in the grass typing. I can see some potential for it in a team in the dark type. So let's say looks around for that. Roaring Moon, Salamence is teetering on the edge of becoming another Charizard. But I have to say that Roaring Moon is like a gorgeous Pokemon. I'm gonna say that that's okay. It's okay. Now, the Ruinous Pokemon, I think, stand out more when they're in their selected, like, sort of individual typings. As a dark type, I get that it's going for the narrative, and it definitely is giving dark. I can't say it's skip, but I also don't want to hand out okay to each and every one of them. I think that Chi-Yu generally is going to be girly pop for me. Xianpao, for me, is gonna be okay. I think it can add a lot of flavor to a girly pop team for the dark type, but the dark type has so many Pokemon that already have such good representation in the Pokemon universe and such like standout potential that I just can't help but feel like Chi-Yu is the only one that really stands out because Chi-Yu is like so tiny and unique in that It's like giving cute but powerful at the same time, like berserker almost. Xian Pao, I'm gonna say is okay. Wo Xian is a looks around for me in the dark type, as well as Tinglu. This one was really fun. The dark type is so varied. The dark type has so much diversity and so much to explore. I feel like any type of girly pop trainer, any type of Pokemon trainer, Pokemon enthusiast that wants to build out a team that is very aesthetically pleasing can definitely benefit from exploring what the dark type can give you. So thank you guys so much for watching. I am going to try my best to get these tier lists out more often now that I am finishing up. Actually, when I post this, I'll be done with the girly pop vlog. So I might need a little bit of a breather because that was a very intensive project, but I'm going to try to like get these going because I do want to do that mother off that people have been asking for. And I also have some other ideas. So maybe sometimes I'll weave in a new video, but yeah, thank you guys so much. Whatever you guys are up to, if you're going to sleep, good night. If you're doing errands, if you're cleaning your house, if you're studying, whatever you guys are doing, work, whatever it is, I hope it goes by super well. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you next time. Bye.